This time on In the Gayborhood, I talk with my friends David and Christopher about how they fell in love and the plans leading up to their wedding this past January. Coming soon in part 2, we talk about the wedding ceremony itself, so stay tuned. Who's this guy?
This is my partner, now husband, David Mensa. We've been married, 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, 2 weeks. Yeah.
About 2 weeks. We were married on January 7th of this year in South Africa. So it was an amazing, awesome experience.
I have to share with you all that when I saw the pictures on Facebook of your wedding, I cried. I really did. It was because you all were just so amazing. You all were just purely being who you are as human beings.
Yeah.
So why South Africa and why now?
Should I tackle that?
Sure. That's great.
So why South Africa? Well, I've been to South Africa before. I went down there in 2001 to do the research for my master's thesis. At the time when I met David, I was in school at Yale getting my master's in public health. And it was only about 4 or 5 weeks after David and I initially met that I left to go to South Africa for about 3 months. And in short, it was in South Africa that I fell in love with David, because we talked on the phone every Thursday night for hours. I don't know how much it must have cost him. We still don't talk about it. But,
And David was here in New York.
I'm sorry, yeah, David was here in New York, so we were talking about every week when I was down there. And so over the course of 3 months is really where our relationship kind of took off. It really began to grow, and it was over the phone.
Oh,
And I just knew that eventually, if there was any incredible place to get married, that it would have to be South Africa.
Now, is it legal for you all, for gay folks to get married in South Africa?
Yes, it's been legal since 2006. South Africa apparently has the most progressive constitution in the world, where they provide protections for a huge number of groups. And gay and lesbians are thoroughly protected under the Constitution.
That's amazing. That's really, truly amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bushman's Kloof.
Yeah, so
You got
I
married
guess
at
we did.
Bushman's
We got
Kloof.
married at Bushman's Kloof. When we were deciding, Christopher said, to bring us up to the present, he said, I want to get married in South Africa. What about that? And I said, great. And he said, he started looking at all these really beautiful vineyards. And I said, if we're going to be married in Africa, I want to be married somewhere that actually looks African. This is like the American talking about Africa, right? And so he found this incredibly beautiful resort in the Western Cape, which is kind of inland from Cape Town, South Africa. So it's Kloof actually means ravine. And so it's in this deep ravine cut into the savanna. So all these beautiful kind of red rock formations, and it's actually the resort is on the grounds of a game preserve. So there are wildebeest and
Lions and
antelope,
tigers.
and not lions and tigers. There aren't any high order predators, but but really everything else. And so we got to be married in this ravine, near where a family of baboons live, and we got to see animals the whole time we were there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Were you all able to have any family there?
None of our family was able to come, but we had wonderful friends who joined us for the experience, and I tell you, just had an amazing day, and 2 or 3 days actually with the friends there at Bushman's Kloof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, your father is African. He's from Ghana.
He is, yeah.
So was there a connection there for you? I mean, I know it wasn't Ghana, but
Yeah.
what was there for you with that?
Well, I think for me, and maybe I could say for both of us, it meant something that we were actually married in Africa, and to be returning there, to be reconnecting there. I think for both of us, it was powerful to actually be on that land and getting married on that soil, and I think too, it felt it felt just crazy to be gay men getting married in South Africa when
That's right.
we can't get married here, you know, but we could get married in Africa and be absolutely embraced. Absolutely, every step of the way we were embraced.
That's
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
just so incredibly beautiful. One other thing that I want to mention is, I don't know about Christopher, but I know that something that you and I share is that previously we were both married to people of the opposite sex. You know, I was married to a man before, you were married to a woman before. How is this different? Or was it?
You know, it was different, and I was surprised. I was surprised at one of the things that I said to Christopher on the day that we got married was how it was such a surprise. Again, I think for both of us, we've been together for 9.5 years now. So that when we fell in love on the phone, Christopher it was in 2001. And so, so we've had a long time together, and we worked out a lot of kinks, and you know, we've been through the ringer, and so we were excited about getting married, but I don't think either of us had any idea that it would be such an amazingly romantic moment.
Yeah.
And it was different than my first wedding, but it's more a function of not so much about whether it was different or not, but just how amazingly powerful it was to be there with Christopher, looking into his eyes in the ravine as the sun was setting. It was the best day of my life.
Yeah, it really couldn't have been any more perfect than it was, and the day was, I think that day it was going to be 100 degrees
Oh, wow.
outside, and we had planned an earlier ceremony, but we pushed it back so that it would be a little bit cooler, and to get married at the time the sun was setting and everything is just golden, and like it was just the most amazing scene to be married. And then, like David said, to be married in Africa, outdoors, and be there with our friends. I think it was most of all just spiritual, just incredibly intimate and spiritual for us, just such that I think it was incredible.